Hello there. Welcome to the Harley Carnes Podcast. Harley on the headlines. We're going to take a quick look. Might have an opinion or two on some of the stories of the day. You know, I don't ever know what the day is going to offer. You get up in the morning, you take a look at what's going on out there, and then you sit down at the typewriter, the keyboard, and go to work. I sure hope there's something worthwhile, though, in these brief visits for you. It's just whatever the world's got to offer, and that you'll come back and help invite some others to do the same thing. Follow, subscribe. It's a tongue twister. Are helpful. They really are. And a little word of mouth goes a long way, too. So thank you if you do help out, and I do appreciate it. President Trump is in the same place you are, assessing whether the Iranians can be trusted to keep their word if they give it. Just in case, he has told the military to stay in place, be ready, prepared to move, locked and loaded, and get some well-deserved rest. That's smart. Because the people who know the radicals who run that country best, the Iranian people, say they cannot be trusted. The ceasefire won't hold, and the Ayatollah structure will always be dedicated to tyranny, terrorism, and the destruction of the West. We know that's what they think because that is what they are telling us from behind the brutal efforts to silence the citizens of Iran by those Islamic radicals. That's where we and President Trump are at the moment. Wait and see. Also, you can't expect the U.S. to look kindly on any country that supplies Iran with new weapons. Any that do, says President Trump, will be hit with at least a 50% tariff for any business they want to do with the U.S. Well, that is aimed straight at China, North Korea, any other ally of Iran. Oil prices are doing the same thing, not continuing to come down, not going up necessarily. The oil industry is run by a bunch of very smart people in this world, whether in Houston or Riyadh, Caracas, or Moscow. They see the same things the Iranians see, not colored by politics. It's pressure they see, tendencies, intentions. They're pretty good. North Korea continues to prepare for war. That's what they are doing. Every nation plans for contingencies, drawing board notes, strategy sessions, scenario building. But Pyongyang has been testing a new series of weapons that ride on the nose of ballistic missiles, cluster bombs, similar to what Iran has used with some effect against Israel and its Muslim neighbors, and electromagnetic weapons and electronic warfare weapons, which are different systems. Electromagnetic can be EMPs, weapons that create a pulse that fries everything electronic in its range. Cars stop moving, trucks don't work, computers are ruined, the lights go out. Electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, are natural byproducts of nuclear explosions, but they can also be generated without using a nuke. There is technology, and we've had it for years. Electronic warfare systems are also missiles like our HARM missile, which stands for High-Speed Anti-Radiation Missile, which targets the radar signal of an enemy's tracking, targeting, or other radar. You could use it to take out a radio station. You could use it to take out a TV station. You could use it for a lot of things, but that's what a HARM missile does. North Korea has been testing its Hwasong-11 missiles, short and medium range, armed with cluster bombs designed to destroy targets, usually people, across 16 to 17 acres of ground, devastating against ground forces or civilians. The reason we go to the gun range to shoot at targets is in case we ever need to aim at something in our own defense with our pistols, our rifles, or if we plan to hunt and kill something. The reason a country goes to the missile range to shoot at targets and test new high-tech weapons is also in preparation. It's only a question of intention. The cyber wars continue. The FBI says Russia's GRU, what we used to think of as the KGB, has used a hacker group called Fancy Bear to steal information about militaries and governments around the world. Not just against the U.S., though we are a primary target. The hackers have also hit Canada, Romania, Ukraine, Slovenia, Germany, Poland, Italy, and others. They get in through Wi-Fi routers, like joining the streaming services that we all enjoy. And once in, well, they're in. If what you or a government has is connected to that Wi-Fi, it's connected to Russia's computer spy network, if they've targeted it. They've stolen passwords, authentication tokens, emails, and other sensitive information, bypassing efforts to encrypt and secure that information. This is most disconcerting because it means you think you're encrypted and safe, but maybe you're not. This is day 8 of the 10-day mission of Artemis 2, which means they'll be headed home today. This morning's wake-up call from NASA was a song by Queen and David Bowie, Under Pressure. Under Pressure. That was courtesy of the Canadian Space Agency. Artemis is scheduled to arrive home tomorrow night, a few minutes after 8 p.m. Eastern, a splashdown off the coast of San Diego. It'll be light still, daylight, on the West Coast, only about 5 p.m. there, so we will all be able to watch. A Bahamas vacation turned deadly. Police in Hope Town are questioning a man in the disappearance of his wife. 59-year-old Brian Hooker told police he was out with his 55-year-old wife, Lynette. The Hookers were on a tiny little flat-bottom boat, 15-footer. Now, many of us have done what they were doing. Take out one of those little boats with an outboard motor and check out the fish and the rays and maybe even spot some sharks in the water so clear you cannot believe how beautiful it all is. Highly recommended. Brian Hooker claimed Lynette fell out of the boat and dragged the key to the boat engine with her and then disappeared in a strong current near Elbow Key. Their daughter said, "No way." Doesn't believe the story? Neither do the police. The House Oversight Committee invited former Attorney General Pam Bondi to testify about the Epstein files. She told him no. Said, "I don't work for the Justice Department anymore." Augusta National Golf Club is serious about its strict rules. Just ask Mark Calcavecchia. He was tossed off the course for pulling out his cell phone at the Masters. He knows the rule. Every golfer knows the rule. Besides, it's the Masters. Biggest tournament of the year. Not even in the practice rounds. You don't pull out your cell phone. Not at Augusta National. Maybe Mark can use the time away to stay away from some donuts and pizza and ice cream and barbecue. He was once a stud. Now he's a bewhiskered beluga. And he couldn't leave his cell phone in the clubhouse. He was lucky to be there, playing on a 5-year exemption invitation and an honorary invitee. Calcavecchia has never won a green jacket. Jason Day likes to wear bird-themed Malbon golf outfits. Augusta National is all about tradition and decorum, and they told him, tone it down. For the company Malbon, it's a marketing gimmick, a walking, talking advertising campaign to have Jason Day walking around in your bright and garish clothing. It is an endorsement thing. Augusta National said, no, it's too much. They are, I think I said, all about tradition and decorum. So a lot of people will be watching to see if the Australian golf star tries to push the envelope or if he decides not to ruffle any feathers and leave the flock behind. Finally, if I had 2 hats, I'd take both of them off to Kirk Moore of Oklahoma. Moore is the principal at Pauls Valley High School. A 20-year-old former student invaded the school armed with a gun. The principal stepped in front of the gunman, and as he raised the weapon and fired multiple rounds, the principal went for him. The principal was shot in the leg, but still managed to tackle and subdue that shooter. Other teachers and staff jumped in after that to help. A hero, that principal. Hunter McKee at the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation says he saved lives. The school superintendent said he's a hero. The students say it. I'm saying it. Seems, I think, unanimous. I guess that'll do it. Thank you for dropping by today, for tuning in. I sure hope you'll come back and bring some folks with you. You know, you've given me a little of your time. I do appreciate it. I'm Harley Carnes. Until next time, Do yourself a favor. Make some good, conscious choices in your life. Make a decision to be happy and fly safe. It's the only way to get there.